Welcome to my stay-at-home workout. Thanks for tuning in. Today, the equipment I'm using will include this mat. For my weight, I've got a 10-pound ball. Hopefully you got something similar. I have a resistance band, about a ½ inch in width. Then I have another resistance band that I'm going to incorporate in the finisher, and that's just like a lower body resistance band, a little bit thicker and more tension on that one. You don't have to have equipment exactly like this. Really kind of anything will do. We can sort of adapt what you've got for the exercise, and you'll see there's some kind of obvious ways to do that. Alright, so it's all about hip hinge today. So I'm going to be doing some Romanian deadlifts with a band for some added resistance. In my case, going to be doing some bicep curls for our upper body pull. For the squat pattern, I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of something different there. I'm going to be turning it into a lunge pattern. So we're going to be doing some side lunges. So a little work for the quads and glutes there. And then for the upper body push, just going to be doing some nice light tricep extensions. Of course though, I'm going to start with some core bracing. Always got to get that core activated and ready to go before we hit those bigger lifts. So a couple exercises for you. We're going to do 10 reps of each, and we're going to do them 2 times each. So 2 sets. So the first one's going to be a little variation that I haven't done in these workouts before. It's a dead bug variation, however, so it might look pretty familiar. With this one, we're going to get our knees bent at about a 45, okay? Or 90, I should say, sorry. We're just going to have the hands flat by the sides here. With this, we're going to be marching. So one leg at a time comes down, the heel taps the ground. We keep that bend at the knee, so on, for 10 per side. But the trick is, as the legs go down, the lower back can't come up off the ground. So you want to take a big bracing breath, really fill up that core, and stick those lower back ribs to the ground. Keep constant tightness in this area. And if you got to reset your breath every rep even, then do so. Okay. So that's 1. Gotta keep that pace nice and controlled. That's 2. That's 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Tougher than it looks for sure. Those are, let's call them knee tucks. The other one we're going to do, our bird dog. So we're going to kind of flip over. It's going to sort of look like the opposite of that one in some ways. We're going to get quadruped here. We're on all fours. All right, that beam of light is really kind of messing things up. All right, really going to reach for the ground, pressing through the heels. My upper back is higher than my lower back, but my spine is still a nice neutral straight line. What I'm going to do here, I'm just going to make sure I'm not kicking any furniture. I'm actually going to reach out with the opposite leg and opposite arm at the same time, all right? So what I mean by that is like that. So I'm reaching out. I'm going to bring them together. Some people like to tap the knee. That's totally cool. I usually just bring the elbow and the knee towards each other. I like to keep that symmetry in the torso. I don't want to be twisting. I want to keep my lower back nice and flat. So I don't want to twist my hips. And as part of that, when I reach back with that leg, I'm not going to lift. I'm just going to reach. So it's a reach, not a lift, because if I lift, then my hips twist. So that's not what I want. And the whole time, I'm really reaching for the ground with that supporting arm, keeping the core nice and tight. We're going to do 10 per side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to switch over to the other side, exact same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, right back to those knee tucks. Remember, keeping those lower back ribs stuck to the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. One more time on the bird dogs. Make sure the shoulders are back and down, away from the ears. You want those shoulders sort of down your back, even as they protract around the sides of your rib cage as you reach for the ground, okay? Core nice and tight, spine neutral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switching that around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, relax, grab a little drink, and then we'll get into the main body of the resistance work for today. So 4 exercises. We got those RDLs, bicep curls, side lunges, and tricep extensions. We're gonna do 10 reps, 3 sets. First set will go a little bit slower as I explain things, but then we'll keep the remaining 2 sets pretty quick just to work that cardio in there as well. So first of all, for this RDL, Romanian deadlift, which is basically your classic hip hinge deadlift variation that doesn't involve bending the knees, but actually sort of picking a weight up from there with the knees nice and soft, hinging at the hips. What I'm going to do to make that a little trickier for myself, because this is a fairly light weight for me on this exercise, I'm going to add a little band for added resistance. You can do that too if you like. I'm going to step on both sides of that band. This is kind of my favorite way to get this rigged up. And then I actually put my wrists right through the band, and I grab the weight like so. Now, it's not going to make any difference at the bottom, but when I try to straighten up at the top, that band is really going to want to pull me down. Now you notice my stance is fairly narrow, my knees are nice and soft, my shoulders are back. All right, so I'm not like letting them droop forward like that. I want to keep that upper back tight, keeping that core tight too, keeping the spine totally neutral right through the top of the head. Now from here, I'm going to push the hips forward, and I'm going to get tall, just like that. So that's all I'm doing. I'm not leaning back, I'm just getting tall. This band really wants to pull me down. So to get down, I'm going to push the butt back, and you see how that ball just goes straight up and down. It doesn't swing out in front of me. Straight up and down. I'm not lifting with the back, I'm not arching the spine or rounding the back. That's not the idea. The hips lead the motion. I'll show you from the side too. We're going to do 10, just like this. We'll start down here. The weight's about mid-shin height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want to keep that tightness in the upper back. That band really wants to pull you down. That's 7, 8, 9, and 10. Probably feeling that in the hamstrings and the glutes. That is where you want to feel it. All right. Now we're going to do some bicep curls. If you got dumbbells and you just want to do it like that, absolutely. What I like to do is I use the band. But because of the length of the band, I tend to do it in a tall kneel position. What I like about this position is it challenges stability somewhat. It makes me maintain core tightness. It makes me keep my hips locked out, because if I don't have my hips locked out, I tend to do this as I'm curling, right? And then that's just not the spinal position that you want to be in. And also, it means that you're using quite a bit more back. It almost becomes a row. So we keep those hips locked out. We keep that core tight, nice and tall through the top of the head. And we're curling like that with the elbows stuck into the sides. That's just a good sort of cue for any kind of bicep curl, not just this version. Okay, so I'm going to start here. There's not really much tension on the band to start with. I'm going to start like full extension basically. I'm going to do 10. It's just going to look like that, right? We're just going to curl up. Pretty simple in terms of the form, but make sure you keep those elbows pretty tight to the side. Keep the ribs down and the core tight. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alrighty. Now for some side lunges. It's going to be nice and simple. I'm going to do them goblet style. Just going to hold a little 10-pound weight here. You don't have to do it with any weight if you don't want. I'm going to start in this tall position here. I'm going to lunge to the side. I'm gonna sort of sit down over that heel. So I don't wanna pitch forward too much. It's not like this, okay? I wanna kind of sit down over that heel. I still want a big chest, my shoulders pointing forward. And you notice my feet are pointing forward too. So feet and shoulders pointing in the same direction. That weight's nice and tight to my chest. My elbows are nice and tucked in. Gonna do 10 per side, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You can sort of reset between each rep if you want and put both feet down. I tend to keep the pace fairly quick so I don't quite put my weight down on that foot, but however you want to do it, okay? Same thing, core nice and tight, feet pointing forward, sitting down over that heel. That's 2, 3. Most of your weight, of course, is going to be on that foot in the direction that you're lunging. 5, 6, I think I might have lost count, that's all right. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Finally, you got the upper body push for today, which is just going to be some overhead tricep extensions. All right, so that means, once again, I'm going to tall kneel, mostly because I want to stay in the frame. This skylight beam just follows me around. All right, core nice and tight, ribs are down once again. It's basically the same position I was in for the tall kneel for the bicep curl, except my arms are over my head, bent like so. Can you see that ball right behind my head? That's the idea there. I'm keeping my elbows pointing forward throughout this movement as I extend. I'm just moving at the elbows, all right? No other movement. And that ball is just gonna go right overhead. I'm gonna feel a little bit of pump in the triceps as I do that. All right, so we're gonna do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Simple. All right, a little rest, a little water. I'm gonna do that whole circuit 2 more times. Then I got a nice little lower body finisher for you. So lots of lower body stuff today. Okay, maybe there's literally no good spot to stand. We'll try it over here this time. All right, I'll show you from the side, so you get an idea from that angle. So once again, I'm gonna step on that band, both parts of the band. For my particular setup here, you don't have to do it like this. You don't even have to use a band if you've got a heavy enough weight. Okay? My wrists are through the band, my knees are soft. Now, yes, the hips are leading the movement. That's really the most important part of the mechanics. But in terms of where the power comes from, you're driving through the heels. All right, so think lift with your legs. All right, that classic piece of lifting advice applies to the deadlift almost more than anything. Keep that core tight, keep the upper back tight. Hips come forward, getting tall. 1, 2, driving through the heels. 3, 4, butt goes back. 5, always leading with the hips, whether you're going up or down. That was 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's go into those bicep curls. All right, I'm gonna do that tall kneel again because I like that. All right, hips locked out, core tight, ribs down, elbows in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm gonna do some lateral lunges. Weight close to the chest, shoulders point forward, chest is up, feet are pointing forward, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tricep extensions. All right. Elbows pointing forward, okay? We don't want the elbows too wide on this. That's a legitimate exercise. It's just not quite the exercise that we're doing, all right? Keep the core nice and tight, ribs down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Relaxing. Little water. This time, to make those deadlifts a little bit tougher, we're going to introduce a slower tempo. So we're going to lower at a slower pace. We're going to lower at a 4 count. And that's can be referred to as the negative, for example. So we're going to do the deadlifts with negatives. So a little bit more time under tension. It's just going to be a greater benefit, but it's also, of course, going to be harder. All right. So take your time getting set up. Wrist through the band like so, if that's what you're doing. All right. So my shoulders are back, my core is tight, right? All right, from here I'm driving through the heels, I'm getting tall, but then on the way down, 1, 2, 3, 4. That band wants to pull me down faster, right? That's what I'm resisting there. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 3, and slow. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, you can see if you have the band like I do, upper body tightness becomes imperative there because it really wants to pull your shoulders forward. It really wants to pull your spine out of alignment, that band. So that tightness around the spine and up here in the upper back is essential. It's a good training tool for sure. Okay, let's hit those bicep curls. Last time on these. If you want to make it a little bit harder for yourself, if you got heavier weights or something, now's the time to go for it, okay? Core tight, hips locked out, ribs down, nice and tall to the top of the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, lateral lunges. Same thing we've been doing, okay? Feet pointing forward. I'm not too concerned with the depth that you reach. That kind of stuff is totally up to you, as is the weight that you hold in your hand, if you are even holding weight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we got the last set of tricep extensions here, okay? Hips locked out, ribs down, core tight, elbows pointing forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, folks. Gonna have a little breather here. Do have a nice little lower body finisher for you. Gonna be working the glutes and the abductors, so some hip work in there too. We'll get going in about 45 seconds. So I'm gonna lie in such a way that I'm not blinded, which I think is gonna be this way. So we're gonna be lying on our backs. We're gonna have our knees bent. So this is the glute bridge abduction ladder. You may have seen me do this one before. You may have tried it with me, not sure. I'm gonna step through this band. It's gonna be around just above my knees, okay? To start with, my lower back is flat on the ground. All right, from here, I'm gonna bridge up. So a nice, simple glute bridge, driving through the heels, and I'm squeezing the glutes at the top, right? I'm keeping the core tight. Trick is, throughout this entire exercise, and it's gonna be a long one, you're gonna keep your eyes down on your hips. You're not gonna be looking up there, because we don't wanna bridge too high. We don't wanna get our lower back into it. It's all about glutes and hips, okay? So just like that, these are the bridges. So for the first set, we do 10 bridges. So let's say we did 10, and then we stop for the 10th one. We stay at the top, we do 1 abduction, which just means you keep this position and you push your knees out. So a little bit of hip work. Next set, we do 9 bridges, 2 abductions. Then 8 bridges, 3 abductions. Basically, it always adds up to 11. So for your last set, you just do 1 bridge and then you do 10 abductions, okay? So that's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna add a little bit of a weight here, which I haven't really done on this one before. It might be a little tricky to hold on to, but I'm gonna try. We'll see how long it stays up there, okay? So we're driving through the heels. We got the core tight at all times. We wanna squeeze those glutes at the top. And remember, stay up on the last one of each set, okay? All right, I'm gonna count it out. First, 10 bridges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay up for 1 abduction. 1, now 9 bridges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2 abductions. 1, 2, 8 bridges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 abductions. 1, 2, 3. 7 bridges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 abductions. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 bridges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 abductions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 5 bridges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 abductions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 bridges. Keep the eyes on the hips. 1, 2, 3, 4. Core tight for 7 abductions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep squeezing the glutes while you're up there. 3 bridges. 1, 2, 3. 8 abductions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 2 bridges, almost there. 1, 2, 9 abductions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last set, 1 bridge. Staying up for 10 abductions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Slowly relax. All right, great work, folks. That was definitely a tough one. Your glutes are, and your legs are probably feeling kind of like jelly now. That's all good, that'll pass. So it's time to roll it out, stretch it out, cool down, get your protein, all that good stuff. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe if you are interested in more full body home workouts, because I will be making these 6 days a week until the end of quarantine, okay? In the meantime, take it easy.